Hello, everyone. Hope all is well. Hope everyone is well. I want to talk a moment about redemption. Redemption is it's an important story, especially within the Bible. You know, it kind of reminds me of I was watching this video the other day and they were talking about Charlie Kirk. This was actually before his shooting, so it it was before his shooting, but there, the discussion they were talking about Charlie Kirk, but they were also talking about the other um, Irina Zarutska, the girl on the subway that got stabbed in the neck. Um, but there was someone who made a comment. They were talking about how they don't think they could ever follow a God that would allow horrible things to happen. Why do things like this have to happen? Why couldn't God smite that person? And the answer to that question is you don't know. You don't know what that person's future has in store. Let's use this as an example. Let's say there's a 16-year-old boy, his name is Sam or John. The name is irrelevant. But let's say he spends 30 years of his life rejecting God. Let's say he spends his teenage years just saying horrible things, doing horrible things. Let's say he even goes a step further and burns down a church. Okay, now of course this is all fiction. This is not a true story. This is 100% made up. Just an example. Okay? But let's say the kid takes it a step further, burns down a church, and a few people are hurt. And then he goes through his 20s, same thing. You know, cursing God, cursing God, denying him, stay away from me, that kind of thing. And yes, God would be sad. He would be sad for him the whole time. But let's say this guy is now in his 50s and he's obviously not going to be the same person he was in his youth. Let's say his mother dies, and his mother means a lot to him, and his mom's wish on her deathbed is for him to find God. And then some event happens in his life, and he turns to God, and he repents, and he owns his mistakes, and then he becomes a loyal, faithful servant for the remainder of his years. And let's say during that time he gets involved in a church, and he brings a dozen, just a dozen. Say he brings just a dozen people to Christ. But that dozen people could eventually end up bringing hundreds. That's that's that is the that's the catalyst. So when we see even people on the right, maybe even people that consider themselves Christians, and they're talking about how horrible this Tyler kid is, and how he deserves this and how he deserves that, and I mean, if he gets the death sentence, I guess that's probably going to be the end of this story. But if let's say he doesn't get the death sentence, they put him in life in prison. Same thing can happen for him. He could have that redemption story. He may be a murderer now, alleged murderer. I hate that alleged word, but whatever. Allegedly, if he gets life sentence, he could have a redemption. And then while he's sitting the rest of his life in prison, maybe there are other inmates that come in too. What if he gets a few of them converted? Brings a few of them to Christ? It's still a redemption story. So don't be quick to jump and say that this kid deserves hell, because we all do. We're all human. We're all sinners. We all deserve hell. But we have that hope. And that hope's name is Jesus Christ. Amen. Peace. I love you all. God bless you. Have a good day.